Hey, you looking for some secrets? I got them right here. I'm Mike Wieczorek, and I've got this podcast. It's called Chicago Real Estate Secrets, and I'm going to share those secrets with you. I'm going to have the top producers and other real estate innovators in our area, and they're going to tell you everything you need to know how to make that money. So tune in every week and check it out.
All right, so we got Mr. Mike Zapart on the podcast today. Mike, thank you so much for being on. We really appreciate it, Mike.
Hey, thank you for having me today.
You got it, man. It's Mike and Mike show today. So me and Mike have done many transactions together now, and the dude is just on top of his shit. He's just very, very organized, self-managed, has a CRM, but I truly believe he's one that is like self CRM. Really, really thrives on being a resource. So I wanted to have him on and have him share some of his knowledge, especially with what's going on right now, just to make sure and kind of date this audio. We are in the middle of the coronavirus epidemic. And so the context.
Lockdown. So
What's
if you
that?
see a dog, if you hear a dog or two little kids running around and screaming, it means I'm stuck at home.
Good, right? We should be. And I am the same, sequestered in the basement. So we are on a flex schedule with family and business. So you'll have to bear with us. But Mike, thank you again. And I always like to ask people to start, this business, both sides of our table, me being in finance, you on the real estate side. It's a crazy business. And when it's good, it's good. When it's bad, it can be super bad. And I'm always curious, what got you into this crazy business and why real estate and why do you stick with it?
So my official training or my official college degree has nothing to do with real estate. I studied at DeVry for technical management. So I was going into computer programming, and I was always attracted to new technology, and had always strong math skills, but real estate was never on my horizon. About 15 years ago, I dated somebody that was in mortgages, and she kind of got me into the mortgage business for a while. And so I originated loans from 2006 to 2009. And when everything started shifting and changing in 2009, I saw the writing on the wall where all the subprime lenders went away in 1 month. And I felt that I was good with working with clients, talking to people, but I didn't enjoy sitting in the office and compiling pages of documents to have a perfect loan file. It was never my strong point. But in real estate, it was attractive to me, and I decided to get licensed in real estate. Gave up my mortgage license, and I just started selling right away. One of my first projects, we had over 200 condos listed, and back in 2007 or 2008 we sold 150 of those, and then in 2009 everything went so this I've been doing this for 11 years. I truly enjoy it, and for me, I think the big part of real estate is the chase, and every case is different. I love problem solving, and I hate being in the office for 8 to 9 hours a day. But I always try to go out and see properties, meet new people, and kind of enjoy learning about people and meeting new faces every day. I think that's what's super exciting to me. I don't want to have 2 or 3 days are exactly the same.
Right. Yeah, we are in a business. I've said it. I think talked about it a few times as well. But we're in a business of managing personalities and expectations, and the better you can communicate and set expectations and able to manage, the fact that people have a lot of stuff going on that might not and usually doesn't have to do anything to do with us, and we just have to kind of take it as it goes. And there's a lot that goes into the emotions behind people buying and selling houses. So the people that are able to really reach their clients, I think, are the ones that are successful, and I think that's a testament to why you are so successful as well. So
I think one of the big keys to this is kind of put yourself in a buyer's situation and let them be the driver of, they have emotions, they have their feelings, you're there kind of overseeing it, you have your experience and you know how to handle it, but ultimately it's their decision. Starting 12 years ago, 11 years ago, I always wanted to build my business long term. I didn't want to get, hey, this buyer needs to buy this home right now because I need a paycheck to pay my mortgage tomorrow, but I'm going to do what's right for you. So that relationship is properly built so you can refer me business down the road and we can go hang out and be friends too. Yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes it comes up early, sometimes it doesn't. But I think that's the real estate secret. I think that's just the secret, right? Is just doing it for the right reason. What's the next right move, right? For everybody. What's the next right move for my client? Because wow, it is the next right move for you. And I've chatted about this on other episodes, but when I wasn't doing it that way, and I definitely wasn't, probably for the first 13 years, maybe, 13 years of my career, as I was chasing money. And man, that you just chase your fucking tail. You chase, the win of people getting what they need and want. And it serves you, and you end up actually finding there's more money attached to that. And so doing things for the right reason.
If you only chase the next paycheck, you're going to be susceptible to like the roller coaster ride, like you're going to have really high highs and you're going to have a very low lows. And I think, the success in this is kind of staying on an even keel and not feeling too good about yourself when something went super good, and then not feeling super low when everything is crashing, or you had 4 contracts fall apart in 1 week because people are getting sick with coronavirus. You got to know this is short-term, temporary, and you're going to survive this, and your motivation and your mindset is what's going to drive forward.
I couldn't agree with that more. And even, adding to that, I think that it is important, and I just recently started allowing myself to do this, but I do think it is important to give yourself credit. You should give yourself credit that you really help some people make that next move in their life, because some of these people are investors, and that's still a big deal too. But some of these people have never owned a home, and this is a big deal. It doesn't matter if it's your 10th home, but it's a big deal. You're moving your life to a different location. And so I think as long as we all, and you're so conscious of it, which is awesome, but I think when we all kind of, humanize this thing, we're able to serve our clients better, and it ends up serving us better. So to me, that has been the real estate secret. So cool to see it come up so quick, and talking with you. Not a surprise, but so some people invest in coaching. Okay. Some people invest in technology. Some people invest in their community, or their just their own tribe, right? It could be their chess club, but the people that I know are most successful do absolutely associate themselves with like-minded people that can hold them accountable. I'm curious for you, I know that you don't spend money on a one-on-one coach, but is there a specific content, a place of resource, something that you kind of, run your mindset from, that you could share with people that might be looking for something too? What drives you? What keeps you in check?
So I always felt I was super self-motivated. In this business, you can wake up at 10 o'clock in the morning, or you can wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, or 5 a.m. and keep pushing. In 11 years, I never had an official one-on-one coach, and never signed up for any, personal coaching. And I always felt maybe this is a little, my next step will be to explore those options. But about 4 years ago, I noticed as a real estate agent, I'm spending a lot of time driving in a car. And I used to love listening to the score, the AM 670, and I knew everything about Chicago Bears, Bulls, Cubs, and White Sox. But that knowledge, besides having, being able to start a conversation at the party or at the next open house, really wasn't benefiting me. So I actually took it on myself to, when I drive in a car, I turn the radio off, and I always have my phone either on Udemy or YouTube, or I have the Amazon, Prime, the books, through Audible. And I always try to listen either to a new book that's, about business, about personal relationships, about technology, or I just scan for the next available YouTube video. 4 or 5 years ago, I discovered Gary Vee, and I watched him a lot. I actually met him a couple of times. I went to a couple of his seminars, and I was really attracted to his message and him pushing, being more modern, being more open to social media, being more on video, because that's where everybody's going. So that famous line by Wayne Gretzky, he's not playing the puck where the puck is right now, but he's going to play where the puck is going to be in a couple seconds, right? So watching Gary Vee, I watch a lot of Tom Ferry, Joe Rogan, Ed Milet, so all those big names, on YouTube. I constantly watch their videos, and there's a good message there. And I think the big key to it is not only listening to it, but how do I implement it?
Yep.
Sometimes I have to listen to something 3-4 times until I finally get the message in my dome, right?
Yep.
But then what I'm going to do tomorrow to implement that message to move myself forward.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, as of today, I definitely do invest in coaching. I love it, but I wouldn't have got to that point if I didn't do exactly that. And I still do exactly that on a daily basis, because someone did say, well, not personally, but as you know, I'm a big fan of Grant Cardone. So similar messaging from all of them. A lot of push, a lot of effort, right? Don't pat yourself on the back for effort, though, right? It's got to be the results that you're looking at. And I know you're result orientated, and we connect on a lot of different levels. I think we actually met by way of social media, right? Didn't the initial connection happen? Right. So we chatted on Facebook and ended up meeting and started doing business immediately. It was just like, it was easy. It was like, yeah, this makes sense. Let's move forward. And it's a testament to the times and how people are connecting. So if you're not open to it, I think you're stealing from yourself. And at the end of the day, if you believe, that you are the best, and you hopefully do, whoever you are, right, then you're not serving your customers that aren't your clients yet. People are out there needing help. So you should know that if they fall into anybody else's hands, right, that they're not going to be served as well. So awesome way to utilize social media the way that you do. You're able to connect with more people, help more people. And that kind of goes into my next question for you, Mike. So people out there right now, especially with being home with the pandemic here, we've got a lot of extra time on our hands, but most people don't think that they have that time to use actually in their business. They say, I can't go anywhere, I can't do anything. What messaging am I going to put out there? Whatever. So what would you suggest right now? How do people stay, in tune with their business, in touch with their clients? And if they haven't ever, done that, what's the importance of doing it now? And how, will those people be different from the people that do pay attention and stay in contact with their base?
So trust me, there's nobody out there in the world that would love to be on the streets or doing open houses more than me, right? I told you I have 2 young kids, and it gets really loud in the house and dog is barking all the time. But I actually feel that this time that we have right now, if it's utilizing Zoom or BombBomb videos or Facebook Face Chat or Facebook Messenger for videos, that we can learn new ways of the technology, and we can actually implement it in our business moving forward. So I'm super excited about this opportunity to kind of take that time back a little bit in the middle of March and April, where usually I would be running from 8 o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock at night, and then sitting writing offers till 10:30 at night, day after day after day, right? And then I can just kind of relax a little bit and learn more and kind of practice the stuff that I would never have opportunity to do, right?
Yeah.
And then with the proper messaging online or to clients is, I always believe in full transparency and showing it what it is versus putting, like kind of very colorful thing what might happen in the future. So last few weeks, we've been really tracking our numbers, showing activity. I've been tracking activity in Northwest suburbs for over 5 years now. So I have 4 or 5 years worth of data of how many showings were each month, what the average sale price was, how many units were listed. And this is what we've actually been tracking this every week now Beginning of March, first week of March, we had over 1,500 showings in this area that we track in our farm. And this week, from Sunday to Sunday, there was only 372 showings scheduled through showing time. So 1/5, right, of the activity that we had at beginning of March, or 1/5 that we had, I go year back or 2 years back, and I can show all those trend lines to my clients. And I am like letting them know, look, on one hand, there was 5 times less showings in this area, but on the other hand, there was also those 372 showings that happened, because there's some clients out there that totally think everything is shut down and nothing is happening outside their front door. I'm like, look, there's not true. If you still want to move and you're committed, I'm there for you and we'll make that happen. I actually just sold a condo where we had multiple offer situations on it. But so it all depends on your client situation, and I have to be able to communicate that clearly and show them the data.
I think that's important, Mike, because, and for those of you guys not listening, I think, it's something you got to implement right away, because this is an information driven sales economy. People have access, especially now, to Google, to whatever, right? So like, why would you, if you have their attention, why would you have them look elsewhere for the information that you think is a big freaking secret? You've lost their attention. They're going to, double back on, information elsewhere, find it. And why would they come back to your information? So guys, full transparency is the power, right? Being you and in full transparency, and then achieving omnipresence through technology, like Mike's talking about, is like just what you have to do if you want to even certainly thrive. But right now you must survive by way of putting yourself, your true self, out there as much as you can and letting people find you. And there's a lot of traffic out there. So, you're not being seen as much as you might think so.
And I think, there's no big secret that clients can find info about a particular home online very easy. They don't need me to, go on Zillow, Realtor.com, Truya, and find 123 Main Street to see what the prices and what the taxes are, or what the photos show, right?
Yeah.
But they still want somebody trusted in their corner that's going to help them disseminate that information and show them that this is actually a good value versus not so good value, or how to make that process happen. When I first started in real estate, I'll email stuff off MLS all day, every day. And now in 11 years, there's some times when we have a great relationship, I can be sending this stuff over every day. They don't even look at it. When they find something that they like, they'll just take a screenshot, send it over, because they want my opinion about it. So I think if we're stuck at home right now, and we have tools like InfoSparks, showing time reports, MLS reports, this is what we should be working on to show, are our showings still going down, or did we already bottom out and then we're climbing out of it, right? So where's the curve? When other showings are restarting? What's the activity? Because our clients depend on this information, and I'd rather have them information right from me, where I pull it from trusted source, versus listening to their grandma on the phone that she's petrified about the world ending tomorrow, and then the information is not very accurate.
And so it's so important to find, and it's a great point. It's so important to know how to be self-motivated at a time where we're isolated, right? You can't go left or right and ask that person for help. Sure, you can type to them and do this and that, but everyone's got their own issues right now. So, Mike, again, thank you for sharing good information with the consumers. I think you also do the same with, your counterparts or other people within. For those of you listening that don't know, Mike's with Keller Williams. They have a pretty large office, a beautiful office, and they do hold a lot of trainings there, typically in person. But Mike is known as the go-to tech guy for Keller Williams O'Hare, and even I believe recently went out to Las Vegas to not so recently, but a month or two ago to represent them at a tech conference. And so he's been kind enough to continue the messaging through technology when otherwise they haven't been able to meet. So Mike, how are you sharing your information and, kind of current technologies with the other realtors at Keller Williams so that they can, continue to see success in their business?
So I just did a class on Friday where we had a Zoom class with over, I think, 75 people join our Zoom class, talking about how we can sell properties more efficiently in a current environment. Fortunate for me, over the last 3-4 years, I had transactions where I was working with out-of-town buyers. So I was already familiar with using Zoom or FaceTime or a Tango app and showing them properties virtually, and DocuSign is such an easy format to use. So I was teaching them a class how to use video. I have multiple different video cameras, from the newest 360 cameras to a nice DSLR camera that we can record videos. And I think when our realtor community gets stronger with using video, overall we're going to be a stronger industry, right? I'm always super excited when I talk to somebody and they start implementing stuff, and I can give them advice. I just saw an agent upload, she was texting me last week what kind of equipment she should buy to shoot her first video. Before we came on this call, I saw her video on Facebook. She did a really nice video, but she posted it to YouTube first, and then she, put a link in Facebook. I'm like, hey, Rory, make the adjustment, make that video, upload it directly to Facebook, so you're gonna get a lot better ratings on it. You're gonna get boosted, and your algorithm is not gonna penalize you for sending people from Facebook to YouTube. So just knowing those little secrets, I can help people out. And I was fortunate this year. We finally hired a videographer for our team, so we can do a lot more stuff with video. But I wouldn't be where I'm today if I didn't know how to edit videos myself. I didn't teach myself how to do this stuff. I didn't figure out, trial and error. I would shoot a video. My first videos, 6-7 years, were horrible, but I wouldn't be doing good videos today if I didn't start with those bad videos 6-7 years ago. Now having a videographer becomes such an easier process for me, because when he goes out, shoots a video, I can tell him, look, lower left third, we want this lettering go in there. You got to make this section a little bit brighter, and the audio here is horrible. Let's make that change. So stepping away, but having that knowledge that's beneficial for 2021, 2025. I think I'm trying to play the long ball and learn skills that are going to be beneficial in the future.
Well, and before it was like these were extras, right? These were good things, tools to stand out and to, separate yourself. Mm-hmm. You put me on initially to Bomb, right? And I'm like, what the hell is Bomb? Mm-hmm. And then you send it to me, and I kind of sat on it for a little bit. And then I went out to Florida for a coaching event, and this other guy goes, what do you think about Bomb? And I go, what the hell is going on with Bomb? This guy's over here telling me I should really do Bomb. Well, it was your initial, messaging to me saying you need to do this. It's a cool way to communicate, whether it's a short, piece of information for follow-up, or if it's internally to your team, all these different ways you can use it. And so then this guy set me onto it, and I've been doing them consistently. And some people, and we have, again, listening to the same types of mentors per se, right? Like Grant Cardone and Gary Vee. When you start putting out a lot of content, people are going to have, they're going to have criticism for you. So at first I was hearing some stuff like, you give me good feedback, but some other people were, not many, but some people were like, what's up with the videos? What's up with your new toy? You said an awful lot out. Do you think that's too much? And I was like, well, maybe, thanks so much for the feedback. Well, now those people while we're all stuck in our houses have reached back out to me and said, hey, what's that program you got? Mm-hmm. Where'd you get this? What camera are you using? Mm-hmm. And I find that funny, because it's a testament to the same messaging that you and I have listened to. One, it's be prepared. Yes, stand out, but these things now are necessities. You can't even buy the freaking webcam that I have right now. You can't even buy it till the end of May if you're lucky, and it's literally 4 times as much the cost right now than when I bought it. And I bought them for the whole team, not thinking like whatever. And now you're lucky if you can get your hands on the equipment to actually do this stuff. And so it's like you helped me be prepared. stay ahead of the curve, but now it is it's what you need. And so I think people need to be okay with being uncomfortable. And like you said in your with the videos, you've been doing it. You showed up. You got to be willing to suck at something to be really good at it. And you didn't start perfect editing, with your videos, but now you're so good at it that you can actually direct somebody to do it, not have to spend as much time on the busy work and continue working on your business, and keep feeding the machine. So,
yes, I commend you. You're doing awesome with BombBomb. I enjoy watching your video emails. I think you're doing super good with this stuff, and keep going. Keep your head up and keep going with this stuff. And like, I don't know. I think this is gonna be, some people are gonna listen to this in a podcast format. Some people are gonna watch the video. I'm going bold. I'm 30 pounds overweight, and I have a Polish accent, so if there's somebody that shouldn't be on video, it's probably me. So I have a lot of negative things against me to not be on video, but I always felt that it's important. This is where our industry is going forward, and you cannot just get yourself down on somebody that's going to put a negative comment, on your video, and you just got to keep going.
And you're doing all right, right? You're doing okay in business, right?
The first videos you're going to produce are not going to be that great. You don't have to look professional. I think what's changing right now due to the COVID-19 epidemic, I think some clients are a lot more personable, and they understand we're in a time of emergency.
Yeah.
So, when I would work from home and my son would run here screaming about something, I'll be super petrified because I didn't portray a professional image to my client on the other line of the Zoom call, right? But now, since we're all dealing with this, it's actually a nice, interaction. And when my son runs here, I'm like, look, I'm working from home. I know you have kids too, so you can relate. And we'll talk a little bit about making, how do you deal with kids? And we're more human that way. And people on the other side, they've been going through exactly same thing, so they can totally understand what you're going through, and it's it's easier way to communicate.
And I think we should hold that in our minds even after we go back to work, that it's okay that our life is still happening around us, because it does humanize us. I hope that people really do take what's happening now forward with them. Keep the videos, keep communicating, even if it's like just not your business, but like families are being together more, even on video. Like people that haven't talked and, conversated amongst a group in so many years are now doing that. And it's really, really cool to see. So there's a lot of good coming out of such a horrible situation. So, I think just people need to kind of carry some of this humility forward, and it'll really help them to be happy and successful. So, the one thing, Mike, so Keller Williams, right? For you, what is your one thing by way of doing it makes everything else easier or not necessary at all? What's your one thing that you think is the biggest driving factor in your success?
So for my success, I think I don't think I would do very well in a corporate type of an environment where you got to be told what to do. I was always super self-motivated, and I would always want to move things forward. I'm a perfectionist, so sometimes that was stopping me from doing things or moving things forward. But I finally figured out that getting things done versus doing things perfectly, it's a lot better, right? So each day, what I'm trying to accomplish, I have my vision, I know where I want to be, and I'm trying to work on things to get me closer to that vision. And it's not, my coach, it's not my managing broker, it's not the principal of the office, it's not my wife that's telling me what we need to do. But I moved here from Poland 20 years ago, and if I wanted nice, comfortable life, I could probably live there to this day. But I always wanted something more. I always wanted to get a little bit ahead of everybody. I'm very competitive, so I feel that there's a lot of great agents in this business, but sometimes they're not living up to their potential because they like to go on 5 different vacations in a year. And more power to you. This is why you're doing this, great. But it's not me. It's not my personal drive. And at the end of the day, I want to feel that today was a successful day and I was able to accomplish things or solve
problems. So taking responsibility for you. No one else is going to come and save you, right?
Yeah, nobody has to wake me up in the morning to go make outbound phone calls or start sending emails. I know my spot in life, and my wife tells me sometimes she has to come to the basement and drag me out of here because I'll be working way too long. So this is, I think, is just having that self-motivation and self-drive to move things forward. I would call that my superpower.
I like that. That might even answer the next question as far as, when things get tough, like, times right now are tougher than they were a week ago. And it's, a week ago is tougher than it was 2 weeks ago. So when it is tough, what keeps you going?
So when this started happening about 2-3 weeks ago, I kind of fell down a little bit. We had a huge transaction for over 1.7 million that fell apart. Nice $42,000 commission that canceled 2 days before closing. But I think understanding that I was through this 10 years ago during the big recession in 2009, 2010. There was a lot of great times in 2016, 2017 where we would sell 4 or 5 homes in one evening, right? And you would put a property on the market on Wednesday. By Friday you had multiple offers, and it was easy peasy, right? I think understanding now that the things that I was doing over the last 5, 6, 7 years, getting better, getting self-motivated, doing my gratitudes in the morning, doing my affirmations in the morning, having a written goal, understand how a profit, expenses and profit work in your business, because we go through this exercise every month. I work with my wife, and she loves accounting. So every month we go through our bills and we see how much money we spend on lead generation, software, marketing, and understanding all those things that are, the hard-earned commission goes into your account, and then 3 days later, all the money is gone because the bills came and, money was spent. So I think, understanding that we're going into the dip and knowing how to cut some of the expenses, but always work on having a profitable business. I see some people, when they build a team, the way they structure the team, it really doesn't make any sense for them to have the team, because the commissions they offer to buyer's agents or listing specialists or showing agents, at the end of the day, they really didn't make any money on the whole transaction. Or there's agents that keep cutting commission just to win a listing. I don't think it's the right way of doing it. I would rather walk away from opportunity if the money is not there, and focus on 5 other opportunities that are going to come down the road.
Yeah, I think it's a great point. Why discredit what service you're going to provide? So that's a powerful message too. If people are, so Mike, Mike has a team, very functional team, great team. And they all have a very good level of communication. Mike, is able to hold everybody accountable in the right ways. Like they're able to help, hold themselves accountable by way of, the technologies and such, and seeing the joint comments that are available on, leads that are, of course, attached to them. But Mike, if somebody is looking to get a team together, how do they structure a team that's right for them and manage those personalities so that, everybody functions together and doesn't step on each other's toes, if you will, in a competitive environment?
So I think, full disclosure, over the last 4 years, we had, 4 or 5 different buyer's agent come to the team, lead the team. So I'm not running a perfect team, but I have enough knowledge that I can maybe help somebody. I think the big thing that I figured out, run the team in a scalable way. So if you have your goals and you know where you want to be in 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, it doesn't make sense to hire somebody that's not going to be in the team for long term, and then it's not going to be able to grow with you and with your team. I've seen agents where they hire a friend because she was very sociable and she knew a lot of people, but then they overlook that she doesn't have a scalable character set so they can teach her how to lead generate properly, and she can grow, right? I think it's very important that you find the right match for the roles that you have on your team, and you can actually become a team versus 5 individual agents. Everybody's pulling in their own direction, but you find a common language and you don't get frustrated with each other. But the way you build a team is that they can scale together with you. If there's, I think that's my biggest advice. If you're trying to put somebody as a buyer's agent, figure out what their goals are. How many transactions can they do this year? What their transaction volume is going to be for next year, or 3 years from now. So you can give them workload or leads, enough leads for them to be successful and for them actually to grow. I think for me, self growth is super important, and I don't ever want to stop somebody. We had an agent that was doing good as a buyer's agent. He felt that he wanted to go on his own. I fully supported that decision. He left, and then 2 years later, I think he made a mistake. He should have been back on the team, and he would be a lot further along. But he wanted to try on his own, and that was important to him, and we got to support that too.
That's awesome to see that. There's plenty to go around. So thank you for that, Mike. I mean, you're definitely dropping some awesome nuggets here. Everybody can take a lot of value from this, and I hope that they do. So how do people get in contact with you if they want to learn more about technology, or maybe see some of your classes, or whatever it is that they've heard on this podcast? How do they get in touch with you?
So they can find me on Facebook, or they can just go to my website. It's super easy. Everything is branded under Mike Zapart, Zapart. You can find me, through Facebook. Google me. You'll find my Google profile page. Send me a friend request or send me a messenger message, and we can talk a little bit. I'm always trying to learn more about other people and find out what they struggle with, and maybe I can give you some tips. If they ever want to come to our Chicago Hair Market Center, we have right now we're shut down, we're closed, right? Everybody's working from home, but we still have a lot of great training every day. And if they're ever interested in, I teach classes on CRM integrations with video, or smart plans, or video production. So I'm all in, So if you guys ever want, send me a quick email. I'll send you when it's at the next class, and I'll love for you guys to join us and kind of learn more about them too. Yeah.
That's awesome, Mike. Thank you so much. And I'll try to put some contact information in here for Mike as well, guys. Don't hesitate to reach out. It is something that is going to support you, your family, your business, at least just to make sure. Maybe you got something to share with him. Maybe there's something you didn't hear him mention that, somebody who's in the technology world would love to get their hands on. This guy's got an arsenal of fantastic cameras. You wouldn't even imagine it. Some people collect guns, some people, collect swords and stuff. This guy has a arsenal of video equipment. So a plethora of information, and somebody who researches the hell out of things before he buys them. So what he's got is the top of the line. So if there's something that you're looking to do, you're not able to accomplish it now. I mean, this guy's got fucking cameras on wires, can go, just scaling the sides of, the house, and just crazy things. And he's dealt even with things that I didn't even know.
My little hobby, I think, figuring the one thing that, what you said before, having that superpower, or knowing what your superpower or unique selling proposition is. Mine were always cameras. I was in the photo club in high school and all this stuff, but I was always kind of attracted to that side. And I'm very happy if I can incorporate it into the business. I think, to me, each business is structured differently. If I'm going to hate what I'm doing every day, I'm not going to enjoy coming to the office every day, you're not going to last very long. So if you have some things that you can incorporate to your business to make it more fun for you, like some people love parties. So having client appreciation parties every 2-3 weeks might be the right way for you to go, right? Some people love building houses, and they have great connection with builders. I think you just have to figure out how not to be very templated and very standard, but going into the unique side of you, so you can attract the unique clients and build those relationships deep versus just being wide. I think when I initially started, I tried to go wide and I tried to appeal to everybody. And I think, there's still some of it because you got to grow and got to do a large business. But I think, going deep might be a better option.
There's something to say to that. Me and the kids love the gardening and digging in the mud and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And it's interesting. It just made me think about different types of weeds, like those weeds or flowers or whatever vegetation that really have deep roots, right? They go seek out the water. They go
Mhm.
really deep. They
Mhm.
are a pain in the ass to pull out,
Mhm. Mhm.
and almost guaranteed they're coming back.
Mhm.
It's just that root is so deep. And that plant might be 2 inches tall, might be a foot tall, could be 10 feet tall, whatever. But you have another plant and its root
Mhm.
system doesn't dig deep because it's very surface. It doesn't need much, right? And it just
Mhm.
needs that surface water when it's available. If it's available, it'll dry up a little bit. It'll come back, but it doesn't go deep. You can pull a section of that out that's 10 feet by 10 feet. My kid could pull it out.
Mhm.
So if your root system isn't going deep, if your relationships aren't going deep, they are going to be very easily removed. They will come and go like a revolving door. If you
Mhm.
have 100 of them and none of them go deep, you have 100 people looking for another opportunity to build a relationship deeper with somebody else.
Mhm.
So super important right now more than ever. Utilize technology and go deep with your
My dog.
relationship.
There you go.
Hey, he's well mannered. The dude's just taking a nap.
Yeah, no, but I totally agree with you. Going deep, and I've been tracking all my transactions. At the end of the year, we kind of look where every single transaction came from to kind of see where our marketing was successful or where not the marketing wasn't successful. And I did an open house 8 years ago on the property. It was foreclosed property in Elmwood Park that I never got to sell. But I'm out of the 2 or 3 open houses that we did there, I got 7 other transactions that closed within the next 7 or 8 months after those open houses for different properties. And now, 8 years after that, the whole trail of properties being or transactions being referred back to me were over, I think, 32 or 33 transactions at the
Wow.
moment. So it's just, building relationships from open houses and actually talking to those people, being on Facebook and commenting on their photos and trying to be interested in them and figuring out what's important to them. I think this is how you grow your business right now. Just doing cold calls all day, every day. It's one way of building it, but you're gonna just get mentally tired of it.
Yeah, hopefully, and it's not a bad thing, right? If you have no other resource, cold call as long as you need to until you get some people that you can get some deep relationships with, and then start asking them for business. You
Mm-hmm.
don't have to cold calling. If you have cold called for the last 10 years, you're doing something wrong. You
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't have to cold call forever. It's okay
Mm-hmm.
to do. It's fantastic to do. I think it's a great practice for overcoming objections, but it should not be a requirement for you every day. So, Mike, thank you so much. We'll try to put some contact information in here for people to get in touch with you. I thank you personally for putting me on to Bomb Bomb. I don't even know if I'd be doing the podcast if I didn't do the Bomb Bomb. So, Mike, thank you so much again, and stay good, man.
Hey, Mike, so thanks for having me on today. I totally enjoyed our conversation. I'm here to help you, and I think next podcast is going to be about gardening or pulling weeds out of the garden, So.
Hey, man, I got worm houses in the garden. We could teach you about all types of fancy things in the garden. So maybe I'll take you up on that, buddy. But until then, stay healthy and, keep doing what you do and sharing all that information with people. It's making a difference, man.
Awesome. Stay safe, everybody.